Good morning. Welcome to Just for Today, a time of eclectic reading, sharing of perspectives, meditation, and prayer. I'm Reverend Rafe Ellis, Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader at the newly joined Centers for Spiritual Living Communities of Columbia and Greater Baltimore. Today is April 17th. And this morning's reading, excuse me, comes from, it's a set of books. It's a set of what, five? Yeah, six. Set of 6 volumes. Life and Teaching of the Masters of the Far East by Baird T. Spalding. This is on page 86 of volume 4. The moment you train children to react to constructive ideas and band together to promote harmony, developing the mass instinct in this way, you are destroying the very root of all unhappiness, misery, want, and war in the world. Our past method has been to develop the sense of strife. The moment that someone acted in a manner that aroused any resentment or resistance, everyone else began to take on the same attitude, and in this way we have been trained to develop the sense of strife. Only by reversing the process and getting back to the true state will we find our perfect social structure coming into the world. Wow. Could that be any more perfect um, for the times that we're in? I'm going to read that through one more time. The moment you train children to react to constructive ideals and band together to promote harmony, developing the mass instinct in this way, you are destroying the very root of all unhappiness, misery, want, and war in the world. Our past method has been to develop the sense of strife. The moment that someone acted in a manner that aroused any resentment or resistance, everyone else began to take on the same attitude, and in this way, we have been trained to develop the sense of strife. Only by reversing the process and getting back to the true state will we find our perfect social structure coming into the world. So, what I see in that is to take that back full circle. What returning to the true state is returning to that place within us that responds to constructive ideals and bands together to promote harmony. That literally is coming together as a whole. Um, that there would be no seeking power over, but rather banding together to access the power of for a common good, for a common goal. Um, what comes alive in me reading that is, coming together for the common good, for a common goal, eliminates selfishness. Um, and what I'm experiencing right now as a human being, having a very human journey, um, is the strife that is referenced in our reading. That seems to be what makes us feel most alive as human beings. Even if that aliveness is uncomfortable, you know, we seem to be on board with it. And I think there's absolute truth in this statement. The moment that someone reacted in a manner that aroused any resentment or resistance, everyone else began to take on that same attitude. And in this way, we have been trained to develop the sense of strife. That's straight up the law of reciprocity, law of attraction. See, sometimes we think the law of attraction is just about the fun stuff that we like. It's not, it's a law of attraction. Energy attracts like energy. And so, if we want to be a part of shifting that trained sense of strife, we have to find that capacity within ourselves to retrain ourselves, to start by retraining the child that we find in the mirror, right? To stop reacting and start responding. To band together all of my own resources for the common good. To be honest with myself when I'm acting out of self centeredness and selfishness, right? Because it all starts with me. It all starts with me. I mean, we have a poster in our home that says the destruction of a nation begins in the home of its people. Um, and the healing of a nation begins in the home of its people, the same way. And so, what's available to us is this new awareness of responding for common good, responding to a collective goodness, responding from that, whatever it is deep inside of us that knows we're all one, that refuses to separate. That perhaps that's the greatest work we can do, is to stop mentally separating ourselves for our human comfort and to continue to listen to how can I respond to this, whatever this is, that brings more peace, more happiness, more joy to the whole. How do we lean into being actively a part of the human race and refusing to be divisive, refusing to take sides? Um, I wish I had a really nice, tidy answer that we could put it on a card and you can carry it with you. I don't have that. Um, I'm still very much in the learning process myself, in the experimental process. But what I do know is in those moments when I find the capacity within myself to not fragment, to not me versus you, to not point fingers, I experience peace. I experience love. And so it's a constant journey with my brain to know something new. And then it evolves to faith where I begin to trust that newness. And it's a process. And it's an up and down process. It's a circular process. It's a lot of things that I can't even articulate. Mostly it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. So that is what I offer you this morning. Um, any thoughts or perspectives that you would like to share? I'm not seeing any, so we're going to go into our 5-minute meditation time. Um, I think this morning what I'm going to do is read our reading again so that we can take that fresh into our time of meditation. Here we go. The moment you train children to react to constructive ideals and band together to promote harmony, developing the mass instinct in this way, you are destroying the very root of all unhappiness, misery, want, and war in the world. Our past method has been to develop the sense of strife. The moment that someone acted in a manner that aroused any resentment or resistance, everyone else began to take on the same attitude. And in this way, we have been trained to develop the sense of strife. Only by reversing the process and getting back to the true state will we find our perfect social structure coming into the world. one love, one life, one omnipotence, one omniscience, one omnipresence, one creation, one diversity, one God, one peace, one power, one presence, one whatever we call it, one Buddha, one Allah, one Great Spirit, all referring to the same one. One source, one substance, one energy, one light, one breath, nameless, changeless, infinite, whole, perfect, and complete in itself. And yet, it expands itself by individualizing itself to express the infinite possibility that is itself, the infinite intelligence that is itself, the limitless love that is itself. No matter the creation, no matter the expression of creation, no matter how it's languaged, it is all there is. And it is expressing itself in this thing I call my life, as this thing I call my life, as this room I'm sitting in, as the equipment that I'm using, as the live stream that is being watched. All creation expressing the infinite possibility that it is. And so I know and affirm that infinite possibility of creation certainly contains the capacity to heal every divide experienced in humanity, to heal every wound experienced by the planet, to heal every misalignment of truth by awakening to the truth of being. So I claim and affirm that that is the activity of my day, that that is the activity of this day for every divine expression of creation, that this is a day of awakening to that truth, to that harmonious operation of one. To anchoring in the truth of being that must evolve and express as a new society, as a healed society, as a new human structure that lives, moves, and breathes the wholeness of creation, the unity of creation without the divisive thought of uniformity. I claim and affirm that life is remembering life today. That as we move into this time of symbolic resurrection, as we move toward the Friday of the symbolic crucifixion, that what comes to mind in the human awareness of all the things within me, within human thought, within human experience that are deserving of crucifixion, so that the truth of being can be resurrected. I surrender all that is unnecessary. I surrender all that is blocking the fullest, most magnificent expression of life. I surrender it to that symbolic cross. I let it go. And even as the words leave my vocal cords, I feel the shift within me. I feel the activity of law whispering deep within, it is so. As it is spoken, it is done. And so that informs my faith. Trust. To hold that belief. The evidence of things not seen but hoped for. To trust the unseen source and substance of creation must manifest as the desires of its heart. So I let go. I let go of the when, the where, the how, and the why, and I live in the truth that it already is done. And I let go of all of my human thoughts that would restrict my experience of what is already done. I let go of all doubt and all fear that would hinder the unfoldment of what is already done in my experience. I let go. And I live each moment in absolute expectancy of experiencing what is already done. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amin. Amen. And so it is. Namaste.